So hello and welcome to Fuel Mixologist. So today I'm going to talk a bit about this carburetor, which is the one I used for the video of how to pack a carburetor. This came to me and it had not been very well packed at all. You can watch that video, it's in the channel. But the interesting thing about this carb is that it is insanely straight and clean kind of out of the box. So I want to use this video to illustrate one of the principles that I use in terms of kind of rebuilding carbs, which is the principle of least intervention. So when I disassemble a carb, I think there is a possibility that this particular carb would have worked absolutely fine without any fixing. You could have put it straight into a motor and it may have worked. I don't know. But as I'm doing this, as I'm shipping them out, God knows where, I don't want to take any chances. So therefore, what I do is I clean them up. And this one in particular has come up really well. So the base plate didn't need this assembly, so I just kind of cleaned it up and run it through with air. Same thing with the metering block. The only thing that I found was that the jets were 64 instead of 66, so I'm going to put the right jets back on now, so that it's back to standard. The other thing was that this had a 50cc accelerator pump, and the diaphragm was a bit perished, so obviously I'm going to change that. So basically I got lucky. That's the truth. And so this is the principle of, okay, what happens if I've got a carb that I've just got it in the car and it's running more or less okay, but I want to just give it a freshen up. What are the things I need to change? Okay, so the things you need to change generally are, I generally always change the power valves on the metering blocks. Obviously, if you've got a carb that is working already, you've got the jets, you've probably got the right jets anyway, so you don't need to change them, so that's good. Obviously, all the gaskets you would need to change, and crucially the needle and seat assemblies, which basically keep the fuel level. Now I'm going to show you in a minute when I'm building these how to pressure test them. I use vacuum instead of pressure to test them, but it's exactly the same principle. So if you've got a carb, you want to give it a freshen up, just you can take it apart, just change the gaskets, clean it a bit with soapy water, and you'll be fine. Just change the crucial things as I've told you. And if you're like me, you bought a carb, you got a bit lucky, then don't just rush into completely kind of clean everything. Just look at what needs doing and build it up from there. So for example, the fuel bowls, they needed a bit of time on the blasting cabinet because they didn't come out very well when I cleaned them with just the water. So I did that, but generally I would have put all of these things on the blasting cabinet, and actually this carb didn't need it because it was in quite a good condition. So now I'm gonna kind of make some more videos as I progress on to this build. So now I've done part of the kind of main body already, so this is bolted onto the body. I've done the back gasket with the metering plate, and now it's time for me to assemble the fuel bowls. Now, one of the things I do with the fuel bowls, how do you test them? Well, it's very simple. You just dunk them in water, and you check that there aren't any air bubbles. flowing out of the carb, which in this particular ones there aren't. So that's how you check. Also, if you shake them and if you can kind of listen out for any fluid, then that's obviously an indication that the floats are no good. But in this particular case, these floats are good. So now I'm going to progress on to just assemble them onto the bowls, and then I'll show you the pressure testing process. Okay, so now the fuel bowls are assembled, and it's more or less the ballpark, the right fuel level. So what I need to do now is pressure test them. So what I do is I've got this little rig that I think it's marketed originally as something to do you bleed the brakes of your car, and and it operates with vacuum. So basically, let me try and do this. So for this one, it has obviously the inlet, so you need to with your fingers and this one is reasonably tight. Let me test this one. The secondary is easy. Oh, this is way tight. Good. So actually that's the way I test them, with a vacuum, and I make sure that the vacuum is it runs through and there are no leaks. So I know that when it's under pressure, hopefully it won't leak. The other way to test them would be to just install a fuel line and put in an electric fuel pump and try to put fuel on them. But again, that would be a bit messy. So that's why I test them with vacuum, and it allows you to vary the pressure as well and to test them properly. So onwards and upwards with the build. So hello, and this is the end product. Obviously it looks like a really good carb, but then again, the starting point of the carb was really good. So now you can check that the choke works properly. And how do you do that? Because when you open it, this moves. So when you close it, there has to be some movement in this arm. Other than that, well, I mean, the 50cc accelerator pump has been set up, and everything else is pretty good. So actually this carb is really straight, should give years and years and years of service. So look out for this in a internet auction site near you.